Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hads. Today, I'm like a little bit more casual if you're watching on YouTube. I'm kind of just like chilling and I have a cup of coffee, but it's in the morning. So, usually when I record these, it's much later in the evening. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this done and knocked out today. I'm not going to put it off because there's some things that I want to share. And sometimes, no, a lot of the times, I try and get my inspiration for podcast topics, just like thinking of what people would want to hear. But today, I don't really care about what people want to hear, like self growth wise, whatever it may be. So yeah, I have a list of things on my phone that I want to talk about. Oh, I just thought of something else. But there's a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What I'm just about to write down of things that have been just grinding my gears lately and things that I also get inspiration from the books that I read. They encourage me to really think about my life and my situations. And then I also like to pretend that I'm a character in the book. So that's where that comes from. But let me share with you what's in my coffee. Sorry for the slurp. It's kind of just like not really digging it, but it's black coffee, some of the sweet drops stevia, and then cinnamon. And the cinnamon's making it like really ick, to be honest. So I'm not really digging it. But let's just do a little recap from last week to this week. I know last week I had mentioned that I don't know actually if I did mention it, but I went to spend time with my boyfriend, which he lives an hour away, and because his parents are going out of town, so I was kind of just helping like upkeep everything. And if you know us, you know we like to argue, so of course we did argue, but it's fine. We're good. We're both very hard headed and like I can take his shit and he can take my shit and then we just spew it back at each other and it's never ending. So, yeah, that was last week and we woke up Monday morning to Hosmer. So, Hosmer is a baby dog and we ended up giving him to Brock and he's living there with him because our dogs, he does not get along with our big dog Cubby, which is his dad. So, we had to give him like he has to come stay with you, and because he was biting Cubby, which is his dad, but he's good with Steel. Like he'll nip at Steel, but it's not in a really mean and derogatory way. So yeah, it was a mess. We woke up, oh yeah, we woke up Monday morning, and there was literally like piles of poop like all throughout the house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. For one, it's not my house. For two, like ew. And it was early in the morning, like it was like 4:45. I didn't have like any. I was trying not to wake up that early, like whatever. So I got up and I started picking everything up, and there was like blood everywhere too because he was like bleeding out of his butt, and I felt so bad. So I took him to the vet, even though I shouldn't have, because he just ended up like probably passing it out through whatever he was trying to get out, and yeah, a $300 bet bill, bet bill later. So that was how the first of the week started. But the rest of the week's been pretty good. I've just been getting busy with some things that I'm trying to work on. And yeah, so here we are today. Just a little update on me too. So I did end up getting like my period in July. That's when I went and visited my sister at the end of July. Didn't have on August. Here we are, September. No, I'm not pregnant, by the way. But yeah, it's like not here. So what is going on, girl? What's going on down there in the ovaries, the uterus? Come on, give me something. So, I actually just upped my Chastberry Vitex to 1 gram a day. So, hopefully this is going to help kickstart it. I'm not training again 4 times a week. I'm back to every other day training and at like 60% intensity. If you know how hard I train in the gym, it's really hard. And so it's actually extremely difficult for me to pull back on my training. And I know this is the culprit. I don't have any other, hardly any stressors in my life. So I feel like my training, just whenever I go ham, it just signals like, oh my gosh, your body's so stressed out, and that's what happens. So, hoping that I can get that under control and get that, back regulated. It's something that I'm continuously working on. So, I'll keep you updated on that journey. But one thing that's really hard for me is to pull back on my training because I'm like, I think that I'm progressing backwards because I'm not able to push to my full potential. And, obviously, this is where muscle growth occurs. So it's just really frustrating, but I know I'm having to put my efforts into other things instead of pushing training hard. So just keep that in mind. Like, there's always other things that are. You are going to be able to put more effort into other things whenever you have to pull back on something else, and that's always how I how I think inside of my brain. So I guess we can get into the topic for today because you probably don't listen to me rant, even though this episode is going to be a rant episode. So just within everything that I deal with in my life, I just feel like these are some of like things that have been really grinding my gears lately. And this is not necessarily like directed towards anybody. It's kind of just like what I've been observing, with friends, family, relationships, some of my athletes, just like everything that I do. And so I kind of just want to put it out there and not even just other people, myself too. Like, there's so many things that I'm trying to like inner deep work on that I feel like I can share with everyone else. So let's get into it. Things that have been grinding my gears lately. Okay, number one, this one is like super simple and something that probably everyone thinks about, but just excuses. Like people that come up with excuses for everything as to why they can't do something. And obviously, I talked about this in the last episode of like time. Like, time's not a valid excuse. Saying you don't have time for something is silly, or just coming up with an excuse because you don't really want the person to know the exact thing, like what's holding you back. And it's quite frustrating. Just be honest. Um, that's another big thing too that kind of goes along with that is just being honest with your emotions. And this is something that I can totally work on as well, is like not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting the other person. So you're hurting yourself because, for one, you're not being truthful and honest with yourself. Like, if you're sitting there like telling the other person what they want to hear instead of what you want to actually happen for yourself, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot so hard, and it's causing you to be emotionally drained, mentally drained. So, sticking up for yourself when it comes to that too. Just not letting the emotions of others dictate your emotions that are actually how you're feeling. Don't don't let those emotions get to the best of you. Like, do not let the truth. No, what am I trying to say here? I know what I'm trying to say, but I just can't spit it out. Don't let the fear of hurting somebody else hold you back from speaking your words and your truth and how you feel. So, this goes along with the victim mindset as well. And this is just another thing that's on my list, is like, why are you sitting there talking or talking to other people about your situation, feeling bad about your situation, but yet you're not doing anything to change it? I think it's so wrong, annoying, and rude. And I am also capable of doing this. I will sit there, and I think we all are. We'll, have our person that we confide in, we talk to, and you sit there and you think yourself into being a victim of whatever's going on, when in reality you don't take a look at the entire picture. There's always three sides to every story. So your side, the other person, and God. So God's usually right because he just is. Anyways, you cannot let what you feel dictate how you are going to handle the situation. Like you have to look at it from every single perspective, the other person's and yours. And like I said, this is something that I truthfully struggle on because I always think like, oh, like it must be my fault. It's my fault, this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, you're just confiding in that because it feels right. You don't want the other person to take the blame for that or get hurt or whatever it may be. I feel like that a lot is like, oh, well, maybe I'm just, I kind of gaslight myself into thinking like, I guess this isn't really victim mindset, but I gaslight myself because, okay, so at first I will feel like the victim. And then I gaslight myself into thinking that, wait, maybe that other person does have a valid point and I'm kind of being like a little bit soft or I'm not seeing both sides of the situation here. And it's really a mind fuck. So I think one thing for me that's just helping me a lot is really like writing down how I'm feeling about certain situations and just like getting my emotions out. And I know I should probably go to therapy because it's probably a little bit better for me than to just, write it out or talk to like my mom or my sister or some of my friends about some things because I need a perspective that that this person knows nothing about me. They only know about the stuff that I'm telling them, my traumas, my fears, all of that, but they don't know anything else about me, and it'll help them give me a better opinion because they won't have any other judgments besides the things that have happened in my life. Whereas, if I'm confiding in these people that, talk to me every day, I tell them my issues, and then they start to build this belief about whatever I'm talking about. And so they start to take my side when it's like, I just need a neutral standpoint. And so I think that's where therapy should be coming into play for me very soon. And I don't know. I've been like toggling with the idea of therapy, like going to therapy is just going to make me like go through so many emotions that I don't really want to go through again. And that's really what my battle is right now. So if you're someone that's in a similar situation, like thinking that you need to do something for yourself that's gonna benefit you mentally and obviously physically because stress impacts everything else, then you need to do so. So I'm just gonna take my own advice here, gonna look into it, gonna figure some things out because I know there's some like a lot of deep rooted work that I need to do. And if you're in that same situation, like just take my advice and let's just go seek out the journey together because I don't think it's a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of growth because you're willing to get uncomfortable and do something that, is not really what you want to do, but you need to do and do what you need to hear. So that's my encouragement for you. Okay. That was a really big tangent. But here's another one, know-it-alls. You don't know shit. None of us know shit. Like there's always so much to be learned, and thinking that you know it all is utterly ridiculous. So none of us know it all. If you don't, if you and another person are in a disagreement and they're like, "Oh, this is right. I know this," and I don't get me wrong, I can be a know-it-all, but usually when I am right every single time because I have actually done the research and excuse me, I've usually know what the heck's going on and I've done my research like I said, and I think, but this is the other point is like sometimes when you do feel like you know it all, it starts like unnecessary friction between you and another person because you think that, yeah, for one, you know it all, and the other person, like, you just get an argument, and it's like, why does it matter in the end, like, the grand scheme of things, like, who's right and wrong? It doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, like, you're not smarter than me, I'm not smarter than you, like, we're all just, living beings, and just, I want, it's not necessarily when it comes to, like, knowing it all about everything, it's just like, there's so much that all of us can continue to learn. And I like the thought of people just like so clueless and so observant and not like feeling like they know everything. And I think this too is something that I want to share is like I get so annoyed when people are so just what's the word I'm looking for? They're in the mindset of just like settle. Like I'm gonna settle right here. Like this is all that I've got to live in this life. And it's like there's so much more out there and I can't explain that. Like every day. Like I'm just looking right now. Like I would have never imagined myself reading 4 books at a time. I'm looking at the treadmill of all the books that I'm reading. Beyond the Pill, Conversations with God, Limitless, Upgrade Your Brain, Learn Anything Faster, and Unlock an Exceptional Life. And then The Good Girl, which is just like a book that I enjoy about a girl that goes more of like a fictional type of book where it's like murder mystery type stuff. And I just always want to continuously be learning. And I think my problem is too is that I feel like everyone around me should be the same way. And it's like I just sometimes I don't take a step back to realize that not everyone wants to be a freaking badass in life and it's okay. And this brings me to my next point of something that I've been thinking of a lot as well. That I kind of got inspired from one of the books I read. I don't exactly remember which one it was because I've been, like I said, you can see here I'm reading 4 books at a time. So my brain is kind of jumbled on what's what. But this stuck out to me really, really hard. And it was we have to stop expecting things to happen from others. We can't expect them to know what we think, to do what we want, to know what we want, to we can't expect them to want to do the things that we want to do. And I think once we stop letting these expectations of others, not ourselves, others, these expectations of others like weigh down on us, then we can be peaceful, we can be free. And I think that's a lot of my issues is that I expect way too much out of others when in reality all I should be focusing on is exactly how much I expect out of myself. I can only control what I do. I cannot control what other people are doing, thinking. And this just goes to show too like whenever you do something for someone, you expect them to say thank you. You expect them to just, do whatever, but we have to stop letting these expectations take over our life. At the end of the day, expect expect nothing from no one because this is holding you back from all of your potential, okay? Set expectations for yourself, high expectations, and all the expectations you have for other people, let them out the door. You cannot change people. You cannot change where they want to go, who they want to be, their direction. The only thing you can do is control who you are. And I think this is something that I've just been struggling with lately because I think that I can change everyone and I can change their mindset, their viewpoint, their habits, how they learn, what they do. And it's like, why and I think this is just the coaching in me is like I want to see the good in everyone. I want everyone to continuously be thriving and growing. And it's like at the end of the day, I just have to step back, and really focus on myself. If I'm going to continue my growth, and if these people are along the ride, then they're along the ride, and if they're not, they're not. And I totally cannot control that. So that's that's a big factor, something that I've been truly struggling with lately. So if that resonates with you, good, because you know, just know you're not alone. And it's been hard for me to like grasp that, but the more that I think about it, the more that it kind of resonates with some things in my life. And yeah, cool. Let me take a sip of coffee. Oh my gosh, how did you guys like that ASMR? Okay, here is just like the list. There's kind of a lot, so this is another big one. It's just like speaking out of anger and emotions. Whenever emotions are high, for me, I usually don't speak out of emotions. I let mine sit in my brain and I let them dwell and dwell and dwell and dwell and dwell until I can finally spit something out. Now, some people, on the other hand, are the opposite. Like, as soon as something comes to their mind, they're spitting that out. And it's really frustrating because you don't have time to actually sit. Like for me, I feel like I do a good job. I'm not the best at communicating my emotions, which is something that I'm working on, but at the same time, like I'm very good at processing my emotions. And there's a difference, but I feel like I need the time to process. I'm very much a processor person. Like, I totally need time to sit down with my thoughts before I can come up with something. And a lot of the times, this processing moment takes me, could take me like literally a week to months to think about something because I'm just a dweller. I don't act out of emotion, I ponder on my emotion. And so it really frustrates me and saddens me whenever I'm in a situation and someone expresses something to me out of anger, out of, high emotions, and they don't mean it in the moment because their emotions are so high. I mean, maybe they do mean it, but it's not, they didn't come out how they wanted it to because they're just, they're, they're spewing it out of anger or out of fear. And it's just frustrating because, like, I'm someone who is the complete opposite. And yeah, I may not communicate it right off the bat, but at least I'm processing it. And so that's why whenever, like, I go quiet in a room or when I'm in situations that I just don't know about, and it's not because I'm like mad. Okay, maybe I am mad because that's why I decided to be quiet instead of speaking up. But like, I think there's negatives, there's pros and cons to both, but speaking out of anger, just it really it hurts me. So that's just something that I've just been, on my mind lately. So, oh my gosh. So these are more like not so deep things. Um, but I'm like my fucking phone and notifications. This morning I went through and I turned off all of my notifications because I'm just sick of it. Like, I'm so sick of seeing everything, and I get notifications on Instagram. Like, yeah, it's a part of my job. It takes away so much from me being present and actually getting work done. Like, if I could continue my business without the use of my phone, I would do it. And I'm so tired of it. It's just constantly on me. It's on me right now. Like, I needed to look at my notes, but it's like I could get distracted so easily and it's just frustrating. So my phone is annoying and I'm just really having a hard time like disassociating with it because I feel like it helps me so much, but it also hurts me so much as well. So like, I'm trying to replace some times in my day with different things or like leaving my phone somewhere where I can't touch it. But then it's like my phone is my hotspot and it's driving me nuts to say the least. Another thing is like, I feel like there's so much that I want to get done, and that if I get up and go outside and go on a walk around a break, it's like, oh, this is 15 minutes. I can't get back at work, but it's like I need the steps, I need the sunlight, especially after eating a meal. I like will eat in here, like work and eat at the same time, and then I just get stuck. And I don't even the treadmill's right next to me. I don't even get up to like try and walk it out. It's just I just get so stuck and consumed in working. And so I think it'll be better now that I have like a selection of books. Maybe I can read right after I eat, read, get on the treadmill, walk. And I'm just like killing a bunch of birds with one stone because I'm getting my steps in, helping my digestion, and I'm getting closer to my book goal, reading 30 books. So I have 4 books right here. I'm like gonna have to grind these books out because I'm behind on my goal of 30 books for this year because there's only like 4.5 months left. Not, no, like 3.5 months left. Shit. 3.5 months left, and I am definitely behind. I have a whole bookshelf over here, so I'm just gonna have to get going and just remember, like, I just gonna have to remind myself of that every day, right in my to do list. Read, 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 read. It's gonna help me so much. What else is pissing me off? I don't know, but this is something that I've been doing better at. So I have a couple of like special occasions coming up, and in the past, I would think I need to buy a dress or like a new dress or a new outfit for everything because I'm so caught up in, you know, having to have a new outfit for everything because I don't want people to notice that I've worn the same thing in pictures. And like, seriously, nobody notices that shit except myself. So I don't know why I sit here and I think it's because I follow all these influencers and it's like, oh my gosh, they're wearing flashy this, flashy that. And that goes back to the phone thing of like, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm so tired of caring about these materialistic things that don't even matter. And so I haven't bought clothes in I don't know how long. And it's been 2 months since I bought clothes. That's a big win for me. So I'm proud of myself. Just like wearing my clothes, like, why do I need to have this, you know, thing in the back of my head that's like, you need new this, you need new that. I haven't bought shoes, I haven't bought clothes. Really, the only thing that I've been buying has just been helping me grow within my business. Books, obviously, like the bookshelf, like very little small things that are helping me. And I'm really only prioritizing spending my money on things that make sense to me. And it's just helping me so much disassociate my worth with like what I'm wearing, because at the end of the day, no one gives a shit. And it's like, I'm not a fucking influencer. Why do I care about this shit, you know? Like, I feel like I have this like thing over my head saying like, oh, you need to do this to be like at this level, and it's like none of it matters. I'm at the point where it's like none of that shit matters to me. Like, I'm sitting here drinking out of this Valentine's Day mug. I'm wearing these sweats I've had for 4 years now. I'm wearing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so silly. The only things that I really love that just make me feel good that I'm spending money on recently is like my nails, just because they make me feel good. I don't care what anybody else thinks about how I look. Like, I just love to have my nails done. It just makes me feel like a like feminine. And then same with my toes and my hair. What my hair is like every couple of months. My nails is once a month. I don't let myself do that any more than that. And I'm trying to get better with what else do I spend my money on? I mean, honestly, let me just like pull up the bank statement, see what's going on here. I mean, I bought a gift for people. Um, yeah, everything is like all. I bought dog food, Whole Foods. Took the dog to the vet. Food, student loans. Oh, I got scammed by some like. Well, I didn't get scammed, but I just got like hacked. So that was annoying. Other than that, though, everything I'm doing is just investing into my my business. Like, there's nothing that I'm not doing. That's just like, I'm just searching right now, and literally there's nothing. So I'm proud of myself for that, because it's just like whenever you disassociate yourself from like having to have the best of everything, which I've felt for so long, and now I'm finally at the point where it's like, just live and like just do everything you can to progress like your business, which is what I'm doing, and progress my fitness. And it really feels super liberating. I'm not even gonna lie. So okay, I will lie. I did lie about one thing. Actually, Lakin and I are going to Post Malone, which is different. That's an experience. So that's like something fun. I feel like I do have to do something fun like every quarter just to like keep me going. And that's not something that's like materialistic to me, because that's something that you can never experience anytime again in your life. I mean, you could if you like go to another concert, but I'm not one of those people that just like go see the same people. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And just like being like so chill and content with where I'm at is something that I've been striving a lot for recently too. So I think that's all I've got on my mind for this week. And oh, another thing too is just like my mom does so much for me and for so many other people. And she's like my biggest role model. And she's just go all the time. So, Mom, I know you do listen, but I just really appreciate everything you do for letting me still live with you, and just just being that person that I can talk to about literally anything is awesome, and without any judgment, and you always want my best interest. So shout out you, Mom. If you have someone like that in your life, you're blessed, especially if it's your mom. definitely hands down feel like my mom is like the best person on earth. So cheers to that. This is her mug. Actually, she'll leave so many mugs at work, and then she'll bring them home all at once, and I'm like, where did these come from? So like sometimes I'm scrounging for coffee mugs, which I'm usually not a coffee drinker, but here lately I've just been doing it for fun. Because it just like kind of makes my day a little bit better in the mornings because I'm just like sipping coffee, working, whatever. So, yeah, I think that's all that's on my mind today. I kind of just wanted it to be more of like a chill episode and not super formal, which they're not usually formal, but they're more of like this specific topic. So, that was a lot of talking. I don't think you guys understand that it's a lot of talking when I come on here and my throat like will start to hurt. So, if you're someone that has to do a lot of talking in a day, go you. You have strong vocal cords. But let's just take one last sip because it's getting cold. Ick. Actually, ew. Anyways, I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday. I'm gonna enjoy the weekend and just the next couple of weeks, like October, just got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So I'm really excited. I have weddings, two back-to-back weddings, and then, like I said, I'm going on a trip, going on another trip, two trips to Texas. So I'm so excited. I actually like looked at some of my outfits this morning, but hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A little bit more chill, laid back, but things that have just been irking me and just kind of just like a mental health kind of catch up and just like things that I've been going through, maybe you've been going through, and they can kind of help you, kind of resonate with you as well. So, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.